Hey guys, tonight I'm going to be showing you how to make my cinnamon pecan crumble bread. And everything is already out. I think, babe, you already gave me everything, right? We need some cinnamon. We need some vanilla. We got a stick and a half of butter. I use the big blocks of butter from Sam's, so that's why the butter is like cut off like that. We need 4 cups of flour. We need 2 eggs. Okay, so we got the 2 eggs there. We need some buttermilk. This one is almost gone because it's from the breads we've been making. We just bought a new one. So, and I have 2 of these pans sitting over here ready, and all I did was grease them with some canola oil and some flour. Old school. And those are going to sit over there, and we're going to get this bread started. So we're going to start off by creaming together. In this pan, we're going to cream together the sugar and the butter. I mean, in this bowl. Y'all hear me? In this pan. So we're going to take this butter. This is salted butter. If you use unsalted butter, you got to put a half a teaspoon of salt. But if you use salted butter, you don't need to put no salt. So we're going to cream together this butter, which is a cup of softened butter. I'm going to put this inside this pan, and I'm also going to add my sugar. We're going to blend that up really well, and then after that we're going to add the eggs, the flour, and then we're going to add the milk. So first is the butter. And my hubby is in here with me, guys. He has been making this, and it's been so good. My grandmother used to make bread like this, but I'm always tweaking and putting extra stuff and doing stuff. And this tastes just like the bread she used to make, but I just put the pecans in it. So we're gonna do that. And instead of using 2 cups of white sugar, we're gonna use a cup of white and a cup of brown. So this is mixed. And we're going to stick that right on in there. And then we're going to get the blender, cream this together, and then add the eggs, and then flour, and then the buttermilk. Babe, you want to measure out the buttermilk in this bowl for me? Here you go. Guys, I definitely had to speed up certain parts because I didn't want it much longer than it is. But you guys requested longer videos, and this is kind of cooking with me. So let's go to the next step. I'm going to take the 2 eggs. I always like to crack my eggs in a bowl before I even put them in here, just in case we got some bad eggs. So I'm going to crack those, which I wish I would have did it before, but we cooking. Don't worry about it. And I can't stand these little white things, so I'm taking them out my eggs. Every time I cook eggs, I have to get these out. I have to. They irritate me. So once those are out, we're going to pour this inside the mix like that. And then we are going to blend this up. This is where I like the cinnamon to go in, and I don't never measure. So I'm going to say just shake it across the bowl like that a couple times. I love cinnamon, and I love the way it tastes in this recipe. You will too if you like cinnamon, pecan, and all that like coffee cake bread type of stuff. And here's some vanilla, and I say that was about a good teaspoon of vanilla. Alright. And then the baking soda. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of this. It's crushed, crumbled, but it'll be alright. There we go. That's it. Here we go. Now we are going to add the flour a little bit at a time and mix it. Start to add half of the flour and mix it. Then I will add a little bit of the buttermilk. Now to substitute your buttermilk, you can use regular milk and vinegar, but I just like to go ahead and get the regular buttermilk, make it easier. I'm gonna add some more buttermilk. It's like a third of it. And I have like a third left. The buttermilk gives it a flavor that is just out of this world. Like, it's so freaking good. So that was the rest of the flour. Now, since it's hard to mix, guys, I hope I'm not loud. And I hope y'all can hear me. The mixer sounds really loud. I'm going to pour some of the buttermilk in here. I like to see my cinnamon. So if I don't see a lot of cinnamon, I will be putting some more. So this is a nice, thick, rich bread. So, yeah. Not enough cinnamon for me. So I'm going to shake some more cinnamon in here. And I would say if you had to measure, that would be about a teaspoon of cinnamon and another teaspoon of vanilla. Trust me, you really can't ruin a recipe unless you're putting the whole half or a whole bottle in there. It just actually makes it taste even better. I love cinnamon and vanilla. So let's keep mixing. Put it like this, y'all. My hubby not a sweet eater. And when I made this for him the first time, he was like, oh my gosh, babe. Oh my gosh. He was like, oh my gosh, that bread is so good. When I say the 2 loaves didn't last 2 days, like literally they were gone in like no more than 3 days. Literally, they were gone. And I was making this again. So he loves this bread. Make sure you are getting everything in the bowl to the center. Sometimes you can think you're mixing good and then it's like flour or something stuck at the bottom. But you want to incorporate everything, so make sure you get you a spatula or a spoon and you get down in there and make sure the bottom of the bowl, it all looks consistent all the way down to the bottom. Okay, mix again. And then it's going to be time for us to put these in the pan and make our crumble for the top. So I'm going to mix this again. Set this over here. So here, guys, is where you're going to get your pans and you're going to fill them up halfway. So basically you're going to take a quarter of the mixture and put it in one pan, a quarter in the other pan, and kind of like flatten them out a little bit. And once you do that, you're going to be putting your cinnamon concoction that I'm getting ready to show you how to make in the middle along with your pecans and stuff. And then moving on to the next step. So let's do it, guys. So I'm going to do some brown sugar. And we're going to put about a cup of brown sugar in here. Like that. And we're going to take half of these nuts, which is about a cup of nuts, and we're going to break them off inside here to create the middle for the bread. And this is already chopped, but I like to chop it a little bit more to ensure that they get bites of it in all parts of the bread. So I'll put a little bit of cinnamon and just mix it like that. Nothing special at all. Okay? And then you're just going to sprinkle this in the middle of your bread like that. That's it. All in the middle. Y'all see that? Maybe get a little bit more nuts in there. That's it. Sprinkle it like that. And you'll actually see this when you cut the bread. You'll see the cinnamon and all that good stuff. So being that I didn't use that much of it, I can take this and utilize this for the crumbs. Alright, so we're going to put the rest of the batter on top of this. I'm going to put the rest of the batter on and then put the crumbs on top of the batter. You want to be able to spread it out because you don't want the cinnamon stuff to move or mix within the batter. which when it get in the oven, it will kind of settle on its own. But you can help it by just smoothing it out a little bit, like this. I'm gonna smooth that out some more. Go to the next one just to make sure I got enough. It's so thick, so you can't really pour it like you would think you can. You just want to make sure you get enough in there to nicely smooth it around on top. I think we're going to be good. Yep, we're going to be good. I don't know if this is going to be voiceover or actually me just talking while I'm cooking, but I guess we'll see. You guys will see if it's voiceover or not. So that one is completely covered. And this one needs a little help back here. So we're going to completely cover that one. Get all this good stuff off this bowl. Yes. This is a good bread for breakfast, for brunch, for dessert. I mean, whatever you decide. So we're going to set these over to the side. Pat them down a little bit, set them over to the side. And so here we're moving on to the good part. You're going to add your pecans, your butter, and your cinnamon, and your sugar, and your flour. It's about a 1/4 cup of flour, about a teaspoon of cinnamon, about a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and a 1/4 cup of regular sugar. And that is the mixture for your crumble. But guys, if you don't like nuts, you can still do everything I'm telling you and remove the nuts. So definitely remember that. The nuts can be removed if you decide to make this for a brunch and you have some people that are allergic to nuts, just remove the nuts. Now with this crumble, you have to kind of keep working at it. And if you've been baking like me, I've been baking for a while, since I was a little girl. So I definitely know when my crumble is ready. So you can kind of look at mine and judge how much flour you should stop putting in there and kind of go from there. Because I've been doing this, I know exactly where I want it to be. And then when it looks crumbly, like little chunks of little rocks or whatever, it is time to put it on the bread. So you want to basically just cover your mixture. And now what I'm doing is just breaking them up. And see how they look like little round pebbles and stones and stuff like that? That's all you want. You want to make sure that you completely cover the batter. And guys, remember, these crumbles will get smaller because they are butter in the inside. So the butter is basically coated with all the goodness, the flour, the sugar, and the cinnamon and stuff. So that is going to melt. So however you think you want your crumbles, try to make sure it's double that size because they will melt in the oven. And basically that's all you do is cover them completely. And guess what, guys? It is time for the oven. And that's what you want to do. You want to put your stove on 350 and then pop them bad boys in the oven. Guys, the smell of this bread when it is baking in the oven is a freaking amazing. Okay, you guys, your guests will not be disappointed. Your family will not be disappointed. These bad boys are done. Watch how they look. Okay, look at the nooks and crannies on these bad boys. Yes, it is so freaking good. I promise you, you're gonna love it, and I promise you, you're gonna let me know that people did love it as well. Guys, if you enjoyed this bake with me video, please thumbs up, share the video, and make sure to click the bell so you don't miss none of my uploads. But guess what, later gators, I will see you in the next video. If you were looking for your girl on social media, this is where I am at CPR4THEBODY. But hey, before you go, check out these great videos I have lined up.